Here is your daily dose of moral clarity. Senator Bernie Moreno shocks the U.S. Senate by bringing up the fact that Hamas still has U.S. American hostages in Gaza right now. Check it out.
Senator from Ohio.
I've been in the United States Senate now for a total of 125 days. I've seen some outrageous comments over the last 125 days. My colleague has been here exactly 12,000 days more than I have. And let me just set the record straight. On October 7th of 2023, families, mothers, fathers were sitting at home enjoying a peaceful existence in one of the most difficult places on earth to live. They had a day planned of joy at a festival. And what happened? People came over and savagely murdered children, raped women, took hundreds of hostages, killed more Jews than at any time since the Holocaust. What you just heard for the last 15 minutes could be summarized as the absolute propaganda of Hamas. Let me just be clear. This war started by Hamas. It could end today by Hamas if they released every last hostage, including an American citizen. We're sitting here in the United States Senate and not even saying a word of the fact that there's a U.S. citizen being held hostage by a terrorist group in the Middle East. That is outrageous. That should be at the top of the agenda. Why have civilians been killed in Gaza? Because they hide weapons in hospitals, in schools, in homes. Hamas is the enemy, not our greatest ally, which is Israel. I was just there 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was there. You know, there's almost no Israeli that hasn't seen a mom, a dad, a son, a grandson, granddaughter that hasn't been either injured or killed to protect their country. The fact that we are disparaging our greatest ally at this level is completely outrageous. I had plans to go home, see my wife and kids. But I rose today because I cannot stay silent after listening to that kind of nonsense spewed here in the United States Senate. It's a disgrace, and we should not ever forget that Israel is fighting the war that we would otherwise fight. And with that, I yield the floor.
Wow. I mean, that is, I want to get to know this man. This man is out here fighting the good fight. Senator for Ohio, Senator Bernie Moreno is an American Colombian politician and businessman serving since 2025. So a very recent guy. But I want more of this. I mean, this guy knows what he's talking about. And he's had enough of the anti-Israel sentiment coming from the U.S. Senate. It is a little bit odd, in my humble opinion, that the U.S. Senate or the Congress will be anti-Israel. I mean, they are funding Israel, so I don't understand why there's so much anti-Israel sentiment coming from there. I think Donald Trump commented recently on a on a podcast and said it was crazy to him the level of anti-Israel comments coming out from politicians, because he says it used to be impossible to criticize Israel. You had crazy lobbyists. Like, the second you criticize Israel, you were lambasted completely. Now, I'm not even advocating for that, but I do see a lot of politicians looking around, especially on the Democratic left and radical left side, and saying, listen, my constituents believe this, and I need to appease to that. Otherwise, I'm not going to get reelected. I don't even think that they're anti-Israel. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that the demographic has changed. A lot of people in America are not necessarily as pro-Israel as they once were, especially young people. And a lot of these younger Democrats, a lot of these younger Republicans are like, I want to jump on that bandwagon. I want to get those voters. And it's very dangerous. It's very scary. It's a slippery slope. And Israel should pay attention to it because, again, I am not such a proponent of Israel's reliance on America, but I do understand that for a good while now, Israel is dependent on America in a great many ways. Specifically dealing with the Iranian threat, becoming a counterweight to Russia and China if they were to get involved in the Middle East, and basically making Israel an untouchable nation. Because as much as these other, maybe bigger powers want to get involved, as long as the United States is there, they're not interested in dealing with that. For more, subscribe to the channel. So if you want to support us, you can also go to buymeacoffee.com/JewishUncensored. And if you want to support us even further, you can also go to our channel memberships and join there. We are posting a lot of exclusive content. We're doing, I think, a few members-only live streams as well. So check that out and get some exclusive content. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.